Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Karen. So if you're new here, this is originally my mom and five boys channel. I do have six boys now. And this is going to be part two to beginner lash tech must-haves. So if you haven't watched part one, I will go ahead and leave that in the link below in the description box. So the link in the description box below. So thank you for clicking on today's video. And one thing that I wanted to point out is that there are a lot of things that are some must-haves for lash tech, but I'm just going to, in my first video and in this video, I'm just going to point out like some really must-haves, like that you need to have for every lash service. Okay, so some things may not apply to you, which is perfectly fine, and there are some things that do not get mentioned in lash courses. So this video is for that purpose. If they did mention it in your course, I'm glad they did, because then that means that, you know, the lash tech that did that course for you knows what he or she is talking about. So let's get right into the video. So a hygrometer is going to be a one important thing. Like, that's one of the main things that you should definitely have in your cart, because it comes hand in hand with your adhesive. So, you know, or if you don't know, your adhesive should have a label on the back or on the box on its package, or on the website of whatever company that you purchased it on. It should have what best humidity and temperature your glue works best at. And the only way to know that is if you have a hygrometer. So anything that I do purchase, I'm going to go ahead and pop, or, you know, that I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and pop it on the screen here so you can see what it looks like. And most of these things, you can also find them on Amazon. The second thing that I want to point out that is a must-have would be either a humidifier or a dehumidifier. So again, going back to the humidity that works best with your adhesive, if your room temperature humidity is not compatible with the humidity to your adhesive, then there's a problem. Either your adhesive will cure too slow or it will cure too fast. So you want to make sure that your humidity is close to perfect with your adhesive. So a humidifier will create mist of moisture, you can say, and a dehumidifier will suck up any extra moisture in the room. So again, depending on if you have too much, then you want a dehumidifier, and if you have too little, you want a humidifier. Okay, so the third thing that I want to mention is, I may say it wrong, like what it's called, but it's going to be a oh my god, my mind went blank on what's the name. Again, I'm going to pop a picture on here, but this tool is to help remove the nozzle, a nozzle remover placement or whatever. So it has different holes, and what this does, and like I said, it's a must have because it happened to me, and I was struggling. My nozzle was clogged, or something was wrong with the nozzle on my adhesive, and to pop those things open, to find something to pop it open with, was a struggle. And believe me, like, you do not want to have that problem. So I highly recommend you have this tool in case of an emergency, that this happens to you and you need to replace that nozzle on the spot. You have something to pop it open and replace the new one on the bottle with that tool. Another thing worth mentioning is a glue shaker or a glue braidor, something to shake your glue in. Because let's be honest, if you need to shake your glue for a whole minute, this right here, and you gotta shake it side to side, not up and down. So this movement right here gets tiring real quick, especially if you don't work out. This movement here is gonna make you run out of breath. So a glue vibrator or a glue shaker, because there's different kinds. There's some that it's like a little handle that you can, that'll turn the glue, or like, yeah, turn the glue. And then there's another one that will vibrate the glue that a lot of people I've seen used for like nail polishes, where it shakes the nail polish or whatever. So yeah, again, I'm gonna post a picture of the one that I currently used. I've used the handle one, and that one gave up on me a couple months later. So I switched to the glue braider one. Another great item to have would be a dental mirror. So that is really great to have. So that way you can see the direction and making sure that none of your lashes look wonky. Because remember, the clients see when they open their eyes, all the bottom lashes, everything, you want to make sure it's covered. Direction is nice and neat. And also that the lashes aren't getting stuck to the pad. So you kind of just want to like lift it, and using the mirror kind of lift the eyelid just a little bit to make sure that nothing is indeed stuck to the iPad, or any bottom lashes, have came out or anything like that. Another must have would be some face covers. You want to make sure, whether you're using disposable or reusable face covers, you want to make sure that you are being as professional as you can. I don't care if it's your mom, your sibling, your family member, your best friend. You want to make sure that on every lash service, you're being professional as you can possibly be. And wearing a face mask just helps that if you are talking to your client, you're not, blowing your breath into their face, you're not spitting at them when you're talking, or, just, you don't want nothing like your breathing or spit going on your client's face. Because remember, we are going to be pretty close to your client's face. And if you're too close, even your lips may touch their forehead. You just don't know. So you want to be as careful as possible and professional as possible. So face mask, as it doesn't really sound like a big deal, but it's a really must have for every lash service. Another thing worth mentioning is not necessarily like a must have, but you definitely want to have one of these on hand, would be a mirror. So you want to have a handheld mirror. It can be a really cheap, a dollar from the Dollar Tree or whatever, just a handheld mirror where your clients can look at themselves once you're done before they sit up. So if you have a mirror on a wall, that's fine, but you also want to have a handheld mirror. That way, before your clients sit up, if they see something that they want you to correct, you're able to do that before they get up. That way they don't get up, look in the mirror that's on the wall, and then have to lay back down, if that makes sense. So one that I do recommend is a recent purchase that I've done. Well, it comes like this. It brings this little stand that detaches. And what I like about this is that it's a little on the pricier side, because it has the light. I'm trying to see if you guys can see. So it has 3 settings. And what I really love about this is that when your client, especially if you lash once it gets dark out, so there's not really that much lighting, and if you have a regular mirror, like I said, it doesn't have to be this one. But if you have a mirror and it's already dark outside, so you don't even have the daylight lighting coming into your room, when the client puts the mirror up to their face when they're laying down, they're going to be covering the room light and the lamp around the one that you use for lashing. So there's going to be like a block of shade or lighting, I can say, when they're looking. So they really won't have a good light visual. I hope I'm making sense. When they're looking at their lash, it may be a little bit hard for them to see anything. So if they have the light here, then even if they're covering the room light, they still have some type of lighting to see their lashes. Hope that makes sense. So that's why I would recommend this one. It is a little on the pricier side. Like I said, you don't have to have one of these. You can use a regular one, but just for that convenience, for the client to be able to see their lashes well while they're lying down, this one I would highly recommend you have. It doesn't have to be this big. This is just the one that I found off of Amazon. It is kind of big, so it feels like really huge, but it's not too heavy. But yeah, so again, I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys want part 3, I can also do a video on lash supplies, like, you know, lashes, anything lash supplies related. I can also do a video on that. I may do one anyway, even if no one requests it, but that way it can be on here if you do need it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, of course, drop them down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.